Hi, good evening. Well, it's evening here. It's 8:04, and this is when I do my canning because it's way too hot to do it in the middle of the day when it's 90 to 100. It's still hot out. It's still in the 80s, but I don't feel like doing it in the middle of the night. So what I'm doing today is I am canning glazed carrots in pint jars because it's just the hubster and I. And we love the carrots. Boy, I'm gonna have to take these off. I'm already sweating. We love these carrots. They have brown sugar and orange juice and water. And oh, they're just so yummy. And you know, you mix the three of them together. I will put the recipe down in the description card under the video. Just look for the more link and click on it and it'll give you the recipe there. But what I did was I bought so many carrots from our local farm store. And yesterday we peeled them all. Today we cut them up because I have to do it in chunks. Like I said in other videos, if you can't do things all at once, so what? Do it a piece at a time. So I broke it down into peeling them, putting them in water. I got a big gigantic container that you'll see that I put them in. And then I put a plate on top to keep them under the water so nothing's sticking up, gets hard. And I did not cook the carrots. They are going in raw into the quart jars that are heating up in my cooker. That's the best way for me to keep them at the right temperature. I also have to turn, this bad boy on and get it heated up because I'm going to pressure can them. I'm at the elevation for 1,000 feet because I'm in Pittsburgh and that's just how we roll here. And then it'll take, I believe it's 35 minutes, but you know, don't quote me on that now. I'll check and I'll put it in here later. I'll probably put little words underneath me saying how many minutes. And then after that's done, behind you is a little island table, and I'll put the ones that are finished out of here, which I should get 14, and then I'll be able to put them on the table here. Ironically, I have 15 jars ready, so I'm hoping that I fill 14 and I don't have to have one extra. We shall see. Now, if that doesn't make sense to you, don't worry about it. You'll see me doing it because I'm just going to do the whole process, and they are so good. Oh my gosh. If you ever had a carrot that you just put your fork down into it and it separated beautifully, and you took a bite of it, wasn't mushy, but had a little sweet citrusy ting to it. Just too good. You can't really taste the orange juice though, but it's just wonderful and I love it. So what I'm going to do is get busy and I'll bring you around when I've started canning some jars. Okay, you don't need to see me, but I'm sure you want to see the process. This is the plate that I put in to make sure that I didn't have a problem with the carrots sticking up out of the water. And what I want to do is I want to put warm water in this because I want to take warmth into warm to go into the processor that's going to be warm because got to turn it on. Here's what's going to happen. I'm going to attempt to dump some of this water out without losing carrots, which I just did right away. I moved it over thinking I'd be able to get this up high enough, and sure enough I couldn't. Okay, that's good. Now I'm gonna wait for the hot water to come back up because my hot water tank is on the other side of the house. So it takes a while to get here. And I'm going to need to have a new sink put in, new spigot, new lines, because look at my cold water. You see this? You see how much is in here? That's full blast. I don't like that. So, got to get the hot water coming up. There it is. Now I want to fill that up and wipe up my floor a little. You try to maintain your messes as you go and it doesn't get so bad. And sure, it's just water on the floor, but I don't need to slip in it. So, as this is filling up, this warm water will help the carrots. It take the chill off the carrots more than anything. And that's what I want. And this is on full blast. Like I said, I need to get, I had a lot of pressure when I had my old spigot. New one got put in and something was done wrong under the sink. So I would like to put a whole new thing in because this is probably damaged. I want to get a sink that is one whole sink because not only will it make it cleaning these big booger things here clean, you know, you can lay them down on their side and you can wash up inside. I'd rather do that than have to, whew, is it hot in here? I forget what I was saying. That's okay. Oh, I'd rather have the bigger sink than this little one because it doesn't serve me a purpose. There. Now let me show you over here. Let's see. Down you go. Maybe. This is going to be like a simple sauce, but you can see it has brown sugar in it. And all of the sugar's melted. And I have these lids in the back that I'm going to put on the jars, warming up, keeping them on low. This canner is a Presto 23 quart. It has the ability, now let me look and see, there it is. It has the ability to do 14 pints. And this is a pint. So there'll be a pint underneath and a pint on top, and they will fit in here up to the top. I'll probably put in a little bit more water after I see how it comes up, because it's not like water bath. In water bath, you need to have the water over top of the cans. This is getting pressure cans, so all it needs is this water to heat up, and then when the lid's on, it'll build steam, and that's what'll cook the carrots. So I turned this off. I have the back ones warming up. This is heating up, and the jars are ready. This is a bubbler. You see how it has different steps in it? Written on here is, like, this is 1 inch. So when you have a jar, and let me just pop one that had water in it. When you put that in, down where this bottom rests, you see that? Where the bottom rests of the blue part, the very longest part, that's a 1 inch headspace on a jar. So that's what I'm doing, because that's what the recipe calls for. And I'm doing a ball canning recipe. I mean, I am a rebel canner, but I do most of my stuff the ball way. There's tried and true recipes, and if they're ball recipes, they've been tested. So, okay, now as I'm filling these carrots, they're nice and warm. So the only thing I want to mention is, if you go from a hot jar and put something cold in it, you could have a thermal shock. That's what it's called. And it would crack either the bottom or up the side of your can, and you'll be really sorry that happened. So what I want to do is put in in this jar, I sat in here for a little while because I didn't want it to be scalding hot, so I couldn't hold it. But I want to get as many carrots in here as I can, because the tighter, they will shrink up some during the processing, the canning processing. And if things fall in here, throw them in there to wash them. But you'll want to try to put the fatter ends of the carrots down in, if you can. But everywhere you see a space, stick a carrot in until you can no longer, this one might not go, you need a skinny one, but until you can no longer force any more carrots in. I'm getting close on this one because it's really hard to get this in. Nope, that doesn't want to go. And this one's kind of long, so I'm going to have to trim that puppy down. So that means this one can go in. A couple of shorties to fill up the top space. Over here we took one out, so let's see if I can get another in. Yeah, there we go. And like I was talking about headspace, you might be able to see here better. Headspace means that if I have something like this carrot here, if it doesn't go down very far, I'm going to have to take it out. So my husband cut them, so he didn't know how long to cut them. He just kind of guessed. Because I said, you know those carrots that I make in our roasts? That's what you need to, how long you need to make them. So he was guessing. All right. Oh, I found some room for some small ones. I can do that. Maybe. Maybe. Oh yeah, there we go. Now, 1 inch headspace. And I'm bumping into these guys. So I'm going to press them down. Now you can be a little close to it, but you don't want to be much more closer. 1 inch headspace. We're pretty good here. Let's push them down. There we go. We got 1 inch headspace, which is good. Now we're going to come back over here. Follow the orange carrots. And here, if I move this out of the way, you'll be able to see. It's a theme. I like blue. Okay, here we go. All right. All right, I want to turn this so that I can try to eliminate any drippage. Now, this is where the headspace is important, because if you put too much liquid in, you got to take it out. Such as, that's pretty good. This is my magnet. Allows me to stick my hand in and pull up a lid and put it on. So now all I have to do is finger tight and set it aside. Figured you might want to watch paint peel on the internet. So I started canning last year. First time I ever canned. And I did it because I have this attitude that when my store looks like it needs to go to the store, I need to start canning. I would go into Walmart, couldn't find carrots, couldn't find this, couldn't find that. And I thought, ooh, something's happening here, and I just don't like what I'm seeing. Made me a little worried. You know, we had, that's my puppy barking. Somebody must be walking in front of our house, daring to walk in front of our house. Okay, this one has to go down further. There we go. And so when I was in Walmart and I saw all this shortages and kept hearing about the dock workers and we're not getting what we need from China. That kind of scares me, you know, because I don't like being beholden to China. So I'd rather be beholden to myself. I'm filling it up, and this just goes on 12 more times. What you doing, Pingerly? What do you want, baby? This is my puppy dog. Say hi. My name is Ping, and I'm a good boy. I'm a very good boy. Now, Mommy has to wash her hands. Go. You gotta wipe the lids, because if you get any of the sticky stuff from the juice that goes in onto, here's a long one, onto the edges of your stuff, it's just not going to work. Let me move this out of the way. When they talk about doing the lids and they use vinegar, and sometimes, just sometimes mind you, if it doesn't seal, some people think that it has something to do with the vinegar that would be on here, eroding at the canning lid. So I don't want to do that. Oh, there's two here. Glad I did it. Glad I looked. Okay. And again, just finger tight. Nothing fantastic. I know you can't see that, can you? Can you? Haha, inside joke. Alrighty. Those two got their little rims wiped. Alright, let's find some shorties. Need some shorties. Shorts, where are you? Here's a shorty. There's a lot of short stuff in here. And it's okay with me. I'm okay with having short stuff. I don't mind it at all, not one bit. Because that's already a bite-sized piece. And see what I did there? I broke it in half to make it fit. It doesn't matter if you lay them sideways. It does matter if it hits that 1 inch mark. That's all that matters. This needs to go down. Okay, I'm going to take this one out of here. Okay, we're good with this. I'm going to fill this up, put pieces in. And you can also cut your carrots into coins, you know, like you see in a can. I like spears myself. That's why I do them in spears. Gotta get these in here. See if I got some spacing in here. I want to get it in here as much as I can. Hey, this will work. Okay. That's how I can keep you guys tuned in. And like I said, this is just brown sugar, orange juice, and water. Wiping the lid. Yeah, and see that it's a faint color, but it's there. And you don't want to not wipe it and then go through all this hassle of canning and then have it not work. All right, I'm gonna have to take a couple pieces out because they have risen above the 1 inch line and I don't want that. I don't want it causing chaos. Chaos in the canning venture. Not a good thing. There we go. I'm glad I don't have my glasses on. I am sweating to beat the band. I was just thinking about how I got started doing this, and I always watch Acre Homestead on YouTube with Becky. And she just started out as a housewife, just doing organic stuff for her family if she can, doing whatever she could to make things healthy. And yeah, I think that's pretty full. Come around this way. And when I watched Becky, I started thinking, you know, with everything that's wrong with me, I should probably be doing the same thing. Because one of the things that's wrong with me, go figure, is oh God, what is it called? That liver disease that drinking people get? Oh no, that's the bad piece. Don't put it in there. Cirrhosis of the liver. I'm getting a new paper towel. Come here, yonder paper towel holder. Come see the mama. Only what I have is considered child's A, which is the non-drinking kind, because ironically, I don't drink. Never have. Never had the desire. Never liked the taste of beer. Couldn't be bothered with any of it. Okay. And I know I probably didn't bubble each single one, but oh well, you know. Poop happens and you flush, right? Why does it keep wanting to come out? All right, I'm taking this one out. So I can push these down and I can lay it on top. There, that'll work. All right, wipe it again. Put the lid on. Now, I have the bottom row of my canner ready. But I don't think I can put it in on the kind of lifter thing that you put down in, because I'm putting a second row. Not much I can do about it, because I'm going to have 2 rows. Okay. Now, let me get the paper towel. Wet it a little. Okay, I wasn't too sloppy on that one. There's that one. And need another lid. There's that one. Now I should have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. And in this big canner over here, I can pressure cook 7 pints on the bottom. And then I put in the separator piece, the metal piece, and 7 more on top, put the lid on. And then I'll check and see how long it needs to go for. But it takes like 10 minutes to get up to the pressure it needs to be at. So I have time to check it. Let me finish these up. I use 4 jars lids. I've heard a lot of people complain about ball. And whenever I listen to some people on YouTube, like Little Mountain Ranch and Acre Homestead, and I forget the other one. And it's near us, like 3 Rivers Homestead. When I heard them talking about having problems with ball lids, I decided I don't need them. I don't need the hassle. So I bought the 4 jars. And every time I use a lid, it's got to be 4 jars. That's just the way it is. There, because it's time to fill that baby. Turn it up. Now I start this on high to get it going. Make sure, I might just put another quart of water in there. There we go. Now I already have one of these metal separators in the bottom. And the purpose of that is to keep the bottom of the jars off the bottom of the pan. Two, four. Oops. Wrong place. 2, 4, 6, 8. I can put another jar in. So I'm going to put this down and put 2, 4, 6, and nope, not that. I don't have enough sauce to do a whole jar. So I'm going to put a jar of water in here. Basically, maybe put 2. Nah, I'll keep it like that. I'm going to put another jar of water in here to keep the space. Okay. All right. So here's the deal with the canner. Right now it doesn't have a jiggler on it because it has to boil and send, excuse me, I drank pop, send steam shooting out for 10 minutes. This is a jiggler and it has a 5-pound weight and a 10-pound weight. And there's another weight that gets added to this if you have a higher sea level for pressurized canning. Now I'm going to let that baby, turn off these, turn off that. I'm going to let the canner come up to pressure, not pressure, come up to boiling. Steam will rise out of this hole. We'll be able to see it. And then what will happen is I will put the jiggler on. I'll let it run that way for 10 minutes and then put the jiggler on. And then we'll count down. I think it's 35 minutes. I'm not sure. But I'm going to check. Okay, so I checked. And it says to, well, like I said, boil this. It's already starting to boil because I've been having it run low for a while. And it's already really hot water. And that's what you want. You want the jars to be warm, the product to be warm, the canner to be warmed up, so that when, and your sauce that you're putting on top of it, or your water that you're putting in would be boiling water if it's just water. Like if you do corn, you would just do hot water. You want all those things hot so there's no thermal shock to cause those jars to crack. And if you're out here, you'll hear the crack. But you just got to let it go till it's done, or it'll ruin the processing for all of them. And on my YouTube channel, you can see my garden stuff. I have like 10 or 12 tomato plants, and I'm hoping for a big harvest so that I can make sloppy Joe mix. Besides spaghetti sauce, you know, I can make stuff out of the tomatoes. I might try ketchup, but I don't know. I'm from Pittsburgh and I love Heinz. But have you read the label of it lately? There's so much. Not really the sugar part of it, but that, what's that stuff called? The corn syrup stuff. That's really not good for you at all. So if I can do a batch that will satisfy me with French fries, I might be stopping the Heinz ketchup thing. And they were saying that was going to be a shortage. So these are all things I'm doing because I want to know the ingredients of what's in my food. And it's got to boil with all this steam coming out for 10 minutes. Then I can put the top on. And then it says 25 minutes. I just don't know if that includes a double-sided batch. I don't know for sure. But let me try to see if you can see that. And I also want to 10 minutes without that, then I put the thing on, and then I have to wait until this gets up to 10 pounds. And then I start my timer for whatever amount of minutes it's supposed to be. Let's put you right here. And you can watch this for me, okay? Let me know when it's done, okay? Okay, I'm back. There's 30 seconds left before the timer goes off, which is 10 minutes of this steam growing. And then I'm gonna have to put my jiggler on. Okay, here we go. That just simply goes on there. Now, to explain to you what's happening, it's called a jiggler because if it gets too much pressure, it'll start jiggling. And that's supposed to let you know there's too much pressure going on in that pot. But we're going to watch this rise. And once it gets up to 10, then I can put it on for the 25 minutes that it's supposed to be on for carrots in pint jars. That's where I'm at. That's what we're waiting for. And it's climbing. I'll bring you back when it's close to the 10-pound mark so you can see that. Hey, you didn't warn me. It's at 10. All right, so it's up to 10 pounds pressure. I want to turn down the canner and try to keep that pressure at 10. Put the timer on for my 25 minutes. You don't have to keep the canner up to the highest boiling point right here. You don't have to keep this up high. You just have to keep that whatever poundage. If you're at 15 or 5, whatever poundage you're at, we have to keep it at 10 pounds because of my sea level. So you can't just do this and walk away. As you can see, there's some stuff dripping out of here too. So, and it's going up to 11. So I'm going to turn this down just a little because I don't want it to go higher than 10 and I don't want it to go lower or it won't be processed all the way through the jar because the jar's this big and it has to get in the center of the jar to a certain temperature and the steam canning in order to make the carrots safe to eat. And you're doing this for 25 minutes. I'm in my good range. Everything's going fine. I'll be back whenever it's done. No, I'm not done. Can you see it rocking away? I want to turn it down just a little more because it's rising higher than it needs to be. And I have this burner on my stove, this 12,000 BTUs. It's a very hot burner compared to the other ones. So that's why it's jumping up to 10 pounds real fast and trying to go higher. I want to make sure that pressure goes down, which is why you watch it. So I'm back. I have about 45 seconds left. And let me show you where we're at. I actually have this on 1. It's on 1. And it's keeping 10-pound pressure. So you see what I mean? You start it on high, build up the pressure, and then back it down till you're keeping your 10-pound pressure, or 15, or whatever yours is for your sea level. So what's going to happen here, in about 15 seconds, I'm going to shut the canner off. I'm not going to touch the jiggler. I'm not going to put a timer on. I'm going to shut it off. But the key thing is when this goes down to 0. When that goes down to, oh, here we go. Okay, it's off. Now, I can walk away from this and I can let this start to go down to 0. But I want to come back out in like 15 minutes or so and see where it's at. Okay, here we go. It's time. It's down to 0. This is not rocking. So I can take it off. Let the pressure come out for a minute or two. Got my nifty jar lifters so I can put what's inside on this table here. And when you put it on a table, I have a bath towel down. I like to put one on my table and then I like to cover it up. Reason being is that there are times whenever jars can be affected by a breeze. Now right now I have, oh, this dropped, so that's good. I have a fan on here. I'm going to turn it off because I don't want it to hit any of these freshly hot jars out of the canner and cause a crack. Thermal shock again. It's quit the steam. It's on 0. And I'm going to get my hot pads just in case. All right. Now I'm going to turn it, lift it away from me. See all that steam? There's stuff in there that's still boiling. I got 2 layers of jars. First thing I'm going to do is take this jar of water out. Not needed. It'll make it easier to get in between them. Wow, that's called siphoning. It's boiling over, probably because there was too much stuff. When you take it out, you don't want to shake it around or do anything like that. But that's probably not going to ping. This one didn't. So maybe those 2 had too much up near the top. It wants to siphon, but it's not going to do it the whole way. This one has hope. Put it on the towel, and this one. Not siphoning. Okay. All right, now you need to get, all right, and show you, I have 2 more in here. These are bubbling to beat the band. All right. Now, I'm going to take this and put it over top to keep a draft off of it. And I'm going to soak up the excess stuff on. These will sit here for 24 hours. Then I'll take the rings off. I'll deal with the ones that siphoned when they came out. I don't know why they did. You never really get the answer. But that's the end of carrot canning. And I know I at least have, I was what, 14? So I have 12 that worked out well. Thanks for hanging out. I know it was a long video, but this is a long process. Take care.